All right, what is up? Welcome to Spoiler Kings. We're going to talk about Gen V season 2. It kind of picks up a little bit after season 1. Season 1 ends with them stuck in this room, and that was it. Like, a room with no doors, no windows, no nothing. And then season 2 kind of picks up a little bit after that. So, we'll get into some spoilers. So if you haven't watched the first 3 episodes, they dropped 3 episodes, which is kind of crazy, of the season. So make sure you go check those out and then come back and check us out talking about the show. We'll start off with Brandman. What you think about Gen V so far?
I liked where it picked back up. I think they started at a good point where it still maintains your interest. I liked that. I liked where they went with the character of Marie. I liked where they went with the character of Kate. Really, I liked where they went with a lot of the characters. I liked that how they're handling, the passing of Chance Perdomo. It feels a lot more. I'm not even going to go down that route, but it's handled with respect. And
I knew what you were going to say.
It works. Yeah, it works in the context of the story, and I like how they're involving the more they're involving Sean Patrick Thomas's character in a way that makes sense. The story almost kind of feels a little smaller and more focused in comparison to season 1, which I like. And I like how it's paced so far, and I like how it's factoring into the greater boys universe with how they kind of worked in some of the characters. It really seems like it's going to advance the story in terms of the final season of the boys as we near closer to that. So I like where they're going so far. It has me interested in. Definitely waiting for the next episode.
Yeah. Did the little time skip bother you at all?
No. Even though they could kind of fill in the blanks in terms of what happened, I didn't think the time jump was a bad idea. It worked for me. It didn't like. There are some questions that I wouldn't mind having answered in the gap, but I thought it was fine. I didn't mind the time jump.
Yeah. Okay. What about you, Brian? What you think?
I think it was difficult to do this. The story, they probably had a story that they were going for originally. They had to change it. And that, I think that was pretty obvious when watching the show. They had to figure out a way to write in death, and that's always hard when you had, what was his name, Chance, not being able to have him there.
Yeah, I forgot what his last name is.
I was like, it's a Perdomo, but it's difficult.
Yeah, there you go.
To be able to do a story around that, and I think they did it as well as they could, respectfully as they could. But it did, for me, kind of was a little jarring as far as if I didn't know what the real world part was. I don't know if it was a very great mesh for it. But it's fine. Okay, so that part. I do like what they have done with Marie. I think Marie has been, obviously should be the focus of the show, but her and her relationships with everybody else and how they're trying to involve a lot of the boys members now. But my feeling is that this might be the last season of Gen V.
Oh, I don't think it is the last season.
But yeah, the way they're doing this, they're saying, okay, this is pretty much done. Like the whole idea was a Godolkin University, Godolkin University. Yeah, Godolkin, it's going away, and you can feel it through the show. Like I now know that this is not going to be a season 3. That members can either join the boys in the last season, and this would be it. But it felt like it's starting a final wrap up of Gen V before we really just got started. And I feel sad about that. But I do like a lot of the storytelling. I do like what's going on. I do worry though that it doesn't seem to be being very popular around a lot of people watching it. I don't know if the numbers are just not hitting, but no one's talking about it. This is it's quietly just kind of creeping along. So I have my concerns.
Yeah. I don't see it lasting any longer than after this season. I think that's it. It's kind of a gap filler between the last couple seasons of The Boys.
Yeah, I mean, because it's so directly tied into The Boys that once that show's over, unless they call it something else, But Gen V, I think with the school is done after this season. Like, yeah, I just don't see how they continue it after the main story is done, and because it is so tied into it. Like, they use Homelander as a threat so many times in the first few episodes already. Like, oh, you want me to call Homelander? Like, that's like, if say Homelander, whatever, he's gone, like how it's too tied into the main story, but yeah.
But, I mean that makes a lot of sense.
But I'm digging the season so far. Like, the first episode was kind of, well, where's everyone at, and then the second and third episode is like, okay, this is what's going forward. What's going on? I think Marie's character is like really interesting now. And as much as I don't like the principal, I like how he's integrated in with everything, and there's so much mystery about everything. And it's really, really like interesting with what they're doing with a lot of these characters, So, and then what's her name? The chick who can get small or big. Oh, I forgot what her name is. Kate. Yeah. Was it? Yeah.
Is it Kate?
No, not Kate. Do you mean Emma?
Yeah.
Emma. There you go. Yeah, Emma. Her is like so interesting of a character, because like, at some points she's kind of the self-loathing, not self-loathing, but self-doubt, really like affects her, but she's kind of good and smart, and she's the only one with, like, I don't say a backbone, but the only one that's really pushing everyone forward, because like, what's his name's dad was kind of over it, and she's like, hey, you're a hero, like, do something about it, But and then he goes too far where he's like, I'm gonna kill them all, and she's like, all right, chill out, bro. So
his name was Polarity.
Yeah, it's true.
One side or the other, right? You going? His name was not in between, moderate.
That's true. That is true. I didn't think about that. Real quick, give a shout out to Nanette for just for $1.
Thank you so much, Nanette. That's
$1. Appreciate it.
That's awesome. That's so awesome. Thank you, Nanette. You didn't have to do that. Appreciate you being here.
Yeah. I don't think I have any boys related thank yous. We'll give you since we're talking about
a superhero one. Let's do a superhero one.
We got a superhero one.
We got some superhero.
Try to look for some superhero ones that we got.
Here we go.
Tell me what my suit is, woman. We are talking about the greater good.
Greater good. I am your wife. I'm the greatest good you are ever gonna get.
There you go. Two very different superhero stories. but I forgot we haven't got to that one yet. I was kind of going down the list. I'm like, where's a good one? But yeah. Thank you, Nanette. All right. But I thought they handled the death, of Chance interesting. I still think they should have recasted him, because I was really curious to see his story with it. But the way they did it, it made sense in the story, though. Like,
but none of them knew what was going on. They're like, wait, he's dead. What's going on? Huh?
Yeah.
Andre's not here. That was very weird. I didn't like the way they did that at all. I was like it was almost like a cop out almost,
Mm,
and it just didn't hit right for me. That's all.
yeah. I mean, I like how they tied it into Marie. It was like, it's on you. It's your fault. He died, and it's kind of like, she's like, what? He's like, yeah, he was trying to follow you. But then they all find out he was also like dying every time he used his power. So it's kind of like a suicide. So it was like, like, I feel like the character was going to die at some point in the story anyway, because it looks like they were setting it up, but it just felt like, happening in between an episode or season, and they really, and then they just periodically throughout the first 2 or 3 episodes, they kind of reference back to it, but I just feel like his dad they had to shoehorn his dad in to what his story was going to be, more or less. But
yeah, which it is. I mean, but you had to do that way. So I understand. I understand where you're going from, coming from. But I didn't think they did a great job at it.
Yeah.
So that was my biggest thing, because even it doesn't make sense to blame Marie at all. He was trying to follow you, like so everyone else, any other superhero who ever tries to do something like that is trying to follow me, not any other people that we watch on The Boys or any of this stuff like at all. Like it's me, right? Even though we talk about Homelander all the time, but they don't talk about any other whatever. I think that was kind of silly. So but they're in a tough situation. I don't think you can recast a character if you're only going to have one season.
Yeah. I think if he was going to survive, I think they would have recasted him. That was my thing. Is like,
that's the smart thing to do.
Yeah, exactly, for long term. But I think they were going to kill him this season because they set it up so much last season. Or like, if you use your powers, you're going to die. Don't use your powers, you're going to die. Your dad's dying. Is like, so they were definitely setting it up. It just, like you said, why recast somebody? All right, cool. You're in 4 episodes and then you die. So I was like, thanks. Yeah, but I mean, they kind of moved past it by the 3rd episode. I think everyone's come to terms to the death, and they're dealing with other things, But what they did with Kat, like, man, that girl's just losing limbs and body parts.
Don't worry about
right? Jesus.
She'll be all right.
Yeah.
She's not dead.
Is she a bad guy though? Like, do you guys consider her like a villain, or is she just like stuck in a really bad spot?
She still does evil things.
I think she's caught between a rock and a hard place. Yeah,
but she still does evil stuff regardless. Like, it's not just like they're making her. She still, they don't ask her to cover up stuff. What she did to Sam, like calm him down. What's the other one? She does things to cover up without them asking her to do it. She just does it because she's part of it. Yeah. So it's not like they're saying they're manipulating her into doing bad things. She's just doing bad things, man. So I don't, villain, it's hard to say, but as a good person or someone who's just being manipulated, no, she's not a good person.
Yeah. I don't know. I just feel like, I don't know. Like Brandman says, she's stuck between a hard and or a rock and a hard place, because now she has like no friends. She has like 0 friends now, because now Sam is just like going full crazy again. Seeing puppets and talking sandwiches and talking trash cans again. So
stuff that she kind of put in motion. I mean, I remember what happened in the last season. She's not a good person. Like,
no.
So like, I don't feel like, rock and a hard place. You took advantage of everything. So if you could, we're gonna talk about him. If you're gonna take advantage of stuff, doesn't mean you get what you get.
Yeah. I mean, she's getting it. Because I'm like, the question: would you guys have helped her? Dying on the floor. Can't touch her.
I'll call 911. Doot, doot, doot. Hey, she's not doing well. Someone come and help her, save her, please. And if nothing happens, I'd be like, oh, I tried so hard. No.
Yeah. Yeah, because I'm like, because I guess she's mad at them, but also it's like they don't trust you. Like they can't touch you because you're gonna use it. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, we can't help you because we can't trust you, kind of thing. So I don't know. I thought it was like an interesting dilemma they had. You know, then right off the bat, they're like, "Let's kill her." It was like, what? It's like, don't be stupid. But
I think the real question is: Are the other people? Are they good people, or are they? I mean, is it really evil, good and evil, or is it evil and less evil?
Yeah, there's a lot of the different shades of gray, you know, because when Marie meets her aunt, I believe, you know, and they connect, and then she finds out what she finds out with the sister. I mean, is the aunt really a bad guy for like keeping the sister away? You know, I mean, to Marie, yeah, she's like horrible, but also it's like,
no, would you trust her? I mean, Marie's going around accidentally killing people.
Yeah, I mean, especially killing your parents, and that's like the last thing your sister saw. I thought that was a nasty burn. She goes, because when she finds out, you know, like, oh, they thought you were the miracle baby, and then she's like, oh, the sister, she's the real miracle baby, and then he goes to Marie, she's like, well, fuck me then, you know, it's like, you know, which is really like messed up to say. It's like, she didn't ask to be born. She didn't ask to be born with superpowers and stuff like that. So, yeah.
But then their parents make her, like, they were all taking the stuff to make superpower babies.
Yeah, like, I don't know if you remember that. So when she had talked to her aunt, the aunt told her she went to Vought because they were going to pay for everything. Yeah. They were going to pay for everything and get her pregnant because they were having problems having a kid. So they went there and they're like, you're all good. We're going to pay for everything. They're like, cool, you know, but, you know, obviously
nothing like this
at the time. Yeah, exactly. You know, unfortunately, they paid with their lives. You know, but that one, but yeah, but I get why she's keeping her away. You know, but I'm just more curious to see what the sister thinks, though. Like, does she want to meet her sister, or is she afraid of her sister? Like, where does the younger sister stand? You know
what the answer is probably yes.
To which one?
To both.
Oh, to both. Just I'm afraid of you, and I want to be with you.
I want to see you. I want to be around you, and yes, I'm afraid of you. The answer is yes.
Yeah. It probably is. So, but we're gonna see. Anything else, guys?
Interesting to see what's going to happen the rest of this season. I think it's going to be interesting to see what happens in the rest of the season going overall.
Yeah, I hope the story kind of stays contained, like it's been doing. And doesn't necessarily focus on just kind of being one big build up to the final season of The Boys. That's what's keeping me invested in the story so far. That they're staying focused.
Yeah. I
hope they
it could lead. It could lead to the finale.
It is right, but I think they're the solution because right now for The Boys, they don't have a solution. They're going to find the solution, and they're going to be the main thing going on for Boys. But it's going to be all about Gen V, but they're going to find a solution for what they have, the problems they have right now.
I mean, Butcher has a solution. You know, it's not a good solution. You know, it's not a good solution. You know, but now finding out, that's one thing I forgot. You know, we find out the big mystery of Odessa. Was it Odessa? Odessa, right? I think.
Yep.
You know, and Starlight is like, oh, you need to find out. There's something big. We need to stop it. Blah blah blah. We find out it's Marie. She has potential to be so powerful that she could stop Homelander.
Yep.
You know, and it could lead into the final season of The Boys. You know,
does that bother you? Because we've had blood, you know, people that have blood powers before. You know, we've had people popping heads before. You know, so like it's weird to say that she's different. You know, I don't know. I thought that was just strange overall.
Yeah, I think they're gonna really dive into her powers this season and really point out like what makes her difference. Because you have what's her name able to blow up heads, you know, all the time.
That was killing and doing by blood, by popping their head by blood. You know, so like I don't know. I thought that was
Yeah.
it's weird because I think Newman had the same powers.
Newman, there you
So what makes Marie different? You better tell me.
Mm-hmm. You know, and the new principal, obviously he knows stuff because he was the doctor that birthed her. You know, so he kind of created her. So I think he's gonna like kind of build up his experiment, which is what she is. You know, because he told her, he's like, "Why do you cut yourself?" She's like, "That's what I do." He goes, "You don't need to." You know, and I was like, okay, so it's interesting. You know, so like little things like that. You know. I was like that they might allude to like some like crazy OP Omega power that she has. So I don't know, but cool. I think that's it for here. But we got the first 3 episodes out. How many is we got? 8 episodes? 10 episodes?
I believe it's 8 episodes.
Like
8. I think it's 8. Yeah.
8. Yeah. So shit, we're almost like halfway through. We have 5 episodes left. That's crazy. Man. Yeah. But yeah, that's episode 1, 2, and 3 that we got for season 2 that just dropped. We want to hear from you guys. So if you're watching on the replay, leave a comment down below. Let us know some what you guys think about it. If there's something we miss, let us know. If you have any thoughts, ideas, theories, all that fun stuff, leave a comment. Make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, come and join us every week when we talk about Gen V and other fun nerdy stuff live. And we appreciate you guys in our live chat right now. We want you guys to stick around because we're gonna move on to our next topic for the night.